I'm refreshing now, and we're off.
Yes, so
flying the plane.
Flying the plane. Okay. So
the final word. Run that back. Yeah.
Run it back. I need a button from you, Lord. I know you got a button behind you somewhere. I need a button from you, Lord. What you got over there?
Man, all I got.
Oh man.
I didn't think about Dre having a button.
I got a button.
The final word. What you got? Yeah.
That's the button for James Slater.
That's her coming through.
Yes, man, y'all, man. Special shout out to James Slater, man. I said today on Twitter, she got more balls than most of the men that was in there.
Man, she got heavy sets, man.
Somebody had to ask the question.
They said she walked bow-legged, man, because she got some big craters down there, man. I love it. Let's get it.
Man, shout out to somebody that got some integrity, got some heart. All the most softball questions. I was falling, my boy Jay Tuck said, I was falling asleep into James.
The final word.
So we gonna talk about some of this press conference and we gonna just go around.
The final word.
But before we do, Law, I need your best Marco Spoon voice, man.
Oh, yes, indeed. As you guys see on the screen there, Shakertons. That's where we're going to have the draft party for your mind, draft time for your mind. 1409 North Collins Street. That's in Arlington. And when you type that into your GPS, you will see Shakertons, and you can see the stadium behind Shakertons. They got a scratch kitchen. They got great drinks. It's going to be a fun environment. We're going to have live singers, a live DJ. Hey, we're going to have live Boss Cowboys Sports. Dak Attack. Oh, and excuse me, my guy Ray podcast. And I heard the OC gonna be in the building, baby. So we're gonna have an offensive line expert. Baby, we're gonna be doing things bigger and better than ESPN. Come on, baby. Jump on in with us at Shaker 10s. Let's get it.
Man, nothing but the best. And that is on the cool. Nothing but the best, for real. So, man, first I want to say thank you, Law, Ray, for organizing it, man. It's dope. Because, in the past, I definitely did a lot of this myself. You just feel good to know that your brother just pick up the ball and then throw it to you and say, go,
Yeah.
So, we finna have some fun. What's your thoughts on this before we kick it off, OC?
Hey, man, this is going to be a great time, man. You want to meet us in the place to be, man. Get the Shakertons, man, for the draft party, the best draft party in the nation. Let's go.
Yes, indeed. So in other words, and I forgot Candy going to be there. Jazz from BLS is going to be there. So, hey, y'all, come on out to Shakertons, 1409 North Collins Street. Matter of fact, don't meet us there. Beat us there. Let's get it. And pause if necessary. Pause. Don't beat us. Let's get it. The final word. The final word.
I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up, I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Short dog.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. I have to take you to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, I'm with T Black, I'm with Revan now. I'm with Bay, I'm with J, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me.
Let's go.
I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
If you really been in the field, I want you to put your hands in the air, man. I want you to put your hands in the air, man. Yeah. All right, man. We finna kick it off, man, with the hot point of the press conference, man. We gonna get right into it, because as you can see, he said, I'm not ready to go. Jerry. So we gonna talk about that, because that stood out to me.
Ooh.
Hold up, man. I thought I had it queued up. I didn't. But I am now. Y'all give me 1 second, man.
Yeah.
That boy, this press conference is funny.
Boy, it had its ups and downs, sweet and sour.
It was sweet and sour, bro.
Sweet and sour.
This is your girl Jay Slater, and
Slater.
I always put the full link in the description. This is from Dallas.com. Check it out.
Network. Trust me, I get budgeting. I've been working on it over the years. But my job is to explain to fans, friends, and family who don't understand when you've got these 3 free agents, particularly Dak. We've seen in the past, I don't think us covering this team were surprised that a deal hasn't gotten done. And
First of all, she out the gate like, let me keep going.
Typically, they don't get
some yoga flames in there, man. Yoga fire.
Man,
Yeah.
Cover the team. We didn't expect a deal to get done.
Dracarys.
If you run into Jane, first I want y'all to encourage her on Twitter. I mean this too.
Yeah.
What she did today is not easy. What she did today, man, I'm just so impressed.
Training camp. But why not work on those deals earlier so that you have the flexibility to go get those veterans that have led to success in the last 2 postseasons?
Your problem is that
Jerry don't like that.
Hey, wait a minute.
Jerry don't like when you Jerry have a problem when you start to and you just start to just come straight down the pipe.
Oh snap! Because when I heard it via the just audio. I didn't know he leaned forward with it. Your problem is.
Your problem is. Yes. Oh, let's keep going, bro. And then she said, I ain't got a problem. Watch this.
I'm answering your question, but you don't have many problems. You're excellent. But
so first thing I want y'all to notice is what we always been saying. They don't like, they respect you when you tough. Cause see, when she just asked the question polite, professional, see, your problem is, she said, I ain't got no problem. Oh, no, you're professional.
But really, Jerry wanted to cuss her out. Jerry smooth wanted to cuss her out. If this was not on camera, Jerry would have smooth, you little bloopity bloop, 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 bloop. That's what Jerry really wanted to say, but he realized where he was. Even though he's older, he's like, you know what? That's right. You don't have that many problems. You're actually quite wonderful. That's PR Jerry. Go ahead, continue.
Hold on, they saying my mic low.
If you rewind, look at how Stephen Jones turned like this, and then my guy, Mike McCarthy, he did a smirk like.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man, this is good.
I'll rewind it. I'm gonna rewind it. Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah.
But my job is to explain to fans, friends, and family who don't understand when you've got these 3 free agents, particularly Dak. We've seen in the past, I don't think us covering this team were surprised that a deal hasn't gotten done. And typically they don't get done until training camp. But why not work on those deals earlier so that you have the flexibility to go get those veterans that have led to success in the last 2 postseasons?
your problem is that well, I'm answering your question, but you don't have many problems. You're excellent. But the point is that you may be working on it and not moving anything but your eyebrows. Who in the world would think that we're not working on it? I work on it. It pops open at 2 a.m. sometimes. What your actually question is why don't you have something done and negotiated and put in the drawer? Well, we'd like to see some more leaves fall. We'd like to see some more action. It's called option. A lot of guys need to hand it off. First guy through the line. Another one will keep it another step, decide whether to pitch it or not. He'll decide whether to turn upfield with it, and then he's still got a pitch left. So it's called option quarterback. That's working the problem. That's working the problem. I've spent my life being an option quarterback, and I can go right out to the damn sideline.
Got him cussing.
Got him.
And still.
Got him cussing. To the damn side.
See, Jane really pissed off Jerry.
Yeah, he did.
And so,
she did.
And so the summary, boss, of everything that Jerry Jones is saying in this segment. Go ahead and hit that button, boss. Hit the button,
because he got a lot more. He got a lot more.
Oh man.
No, hit the button. Hit the button, boss.
Leave a pitch in me.
Hit the button, boss.
So I can do that. And that's just a style that you have.
I can do that.
And so you never know. You might give money to somebody that you shouldn't have given it to.
Wait. So we talking about Mike. So we talking about Dak, Micah, and CeeDee.
Yeah. No, and what he's really referring to, let's pause this. What he's really referring to is, I'm pissed, and I said this before. That's why you need to watch the final word. That's why you need to tune in to Law Nation, Big Game James, Boss Cowboy. I'm telling you, I said they were pissed about the original contract that they had to give Dak, the 4-year deal. They felt like they lost on that deal, and they are hell bent, like for lack of a better term, of not losing again. And he's talking all this stuff, and the button I was talking about, boss, is the wee-woo button. Because this is a bunch of wee-woo. It is complete and utter malarkey. Because at the end of the day, somebody's lying. And all I want you guys to help me with, and I'm going to kick to y'all, who's lying? Because Dak said no significant talks have happened. Stephen Jones says a couple weeks back, we've had some good talks with Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones was saying, well, what make you think we ain't working on it? We working on it. I'm an option quarterback. I can run it. I can pitch it. I can cut up field. I mean, so somebody, somewhere is not telling the truth about this situation. And I'll get my thought later, but I want to detect it.
They asked that question, and it's gonna get interesting because that's the next clip I'm gonna pull up. All right, so. And then my boy said Jane is a certified G with the super chat. Appreciate it.
Man,
let's keep
Jane
going.
Ashley Slater.
Did you want to add something while we on pause, Law? You want
No. Jane is slaying over there, man. Janus. She turned into Janus over there. Go ahead.
Like, I just want to hug Jane. Like, just your professionalism is just amazing.
Courage.
Here we go. Courage. Let me also say something real quick that I know. Okay, that I know. Jane has a lot of courage for that because Jerry is on the board of the NFL Network. So she knows she's swimming in, you know what I mean, shark waters. You know what I mean? So, but it shows that she wanted to ask the real question, not the fluff question. She wanted to ask the question that we all sitting back like, you know, those of us who really know. So that's why I say, and I mean this, she deserves all your encouragement. I think everybody that's watching this channel, Law Channel, Big Game Channel, everybody that's watching this should tag her and just say thank you. We appreciate you just for having courage, because it was not easy what she did. Just trust me, it wasn't easy. All right, let's go.
You got 2 or 3 of those names around here for me? I've been reading about them all week. So I know they're out there. I shouldn't have handed it off as quick. Should have gone on out and seen a few more. See some more defense before I either pitched it or kept it. So to say that you're not working on it and going is not the right answer. What they differ with you is your style. Because it's on your mind. It'd be madness not to know that the contracts are ahead. I want to see a few more cards played, candidly. If you got trouble with when the timing is around here, it's because I'm not ready to go.
So there's so much here, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna jump in first and I'm gonna shut up. So Jerry, you saying, Jerry, you want Dak to prove it some more? That's what it sounds like to me. You want to see some more cards play, and I don't want to skip ahead because I watched the whole interview, by the way. I don't want to skip ahead on this, but what else do you need to see?
See, that's the key statement.
What more do you want from me?
Right, that is the key question. That is the key question right there, OC. Because he say, if you want to know what's going on with the timing, I'm not ready to go. It's me. I'm the one holding it up. I'm the one that's holding up the talks with the agents. It's me. Yeah.
You know what? You know what? I'm starting to lean toward, and I won't give away the rest of the clips, but I'm gonna say this, having listened to this whole thing. I don't think they are still not convinced about Dak's work. They like him as a quarterback, but they are still not convinced of his work. And I'm gonna give away one thing. Later on, they asked questions about CeeDee Lamb near the end of the interview.
Yeah.
And you go play this, boss, but he said something so key, and you know what it is. Yeah, I mean, CeeDee Lamb's one of the best players in the league. Okay, granted, we all know that. You're saying stuff we know, but he's the kind of receiver. He helps the quarterback. He mentioned supporting cast. He doesn't believe that Dak is all the way that guy, in my opinion.
But still say that he wants him, right? So yeah. Right. Yeah. So in those two things conflict, because if you want something, you make sure you covet it, right? You know, you seen people outside, man, they get their car for the first time, they washing it every day, right? They making sure they vacuum clean it from the inside and keep it all clean and pretty much tight. But they don't do that with Dak Prescott. You know, they park the car outside and allow everybody else to throw rocks and touch it, you know, and poke at it. They don't even pull it up into the garage. So yeah, action speaks louder than words. And Jerry Jones, man, he's skating on what Jane Ashley Slater was asking him. He's skating. That's why he went to the metaphors and all of those other things. Keep going, yo.
I got some more. You know I got some more up in here. Let's get it. Here we go.
And you don't worry about those numbers going up as a result of other teams paying some of these players at their positions.
Oh, you thought she was finished?
Oh.
Just getting started.
Oh, you thought she was finished? No, I got a follow up. So you ain't worried about the price going up?
Mm-hmm. I worry about you. If you're asking me, do I worry about things going up? Not worry, but I probably have as good a feel as anybody living on this earth what the cap is going to be 3 years from now, and 4 years from now, 5 years from now. I really do. We've got exceptional insight into where the cap is going to be.
Flexing.
More so than a lot of people.
Jane, I can assure you.
Oh, no, don't try to help Daddy. Pause it right quick.
That was
pause
a good
it right
number.
quick. Oh,
because
if he said that he know where the
as we
cap
all
is
know,
going.
representatives talk to each other.
Let me pause it. Go ahead.
Yeah. If he said that he knows where the cap is going, then dog it. Wouldn't it be wise for go ahead and pay people, man, so that you can get from under the doggone cap and utilize that for your advantage? It don't make sense. If you already know what the price of the tea is in China next week, right? And then, boss, I know you. And OC, if you already know what the stock option is going to be, if you already know what it's going to be, wouldn't you go ahead and buy or wouldn't you go ahead and sell, right? You would go ahead and make those proper plans and procedures. You would have been ahead of Dak Prescott contract. You would have been ahead of my guy, CeeDee Lamb's contract. You would have been ahead of Michael Parsons' contract because you already know where it's going to be. You will be making calculated decisions, finite points, whereas it would benefit you if you already know if the market is where it's going to be. Come on, man. Oh, my goodness. But that's why Stephen Jones jumped in. Yeah.
This is pride and stubbornness at its finest. And it just proves the point that I said. This is not about just purely football. This is my ego. This is personal. This is winning a negotiation. This is proof I'm the big bad man. And you know what? Because real strength doesn't get angry all the time. And in this interview in particular, I've never seen Jerry Jones so ruffled. I've never seen him so discombobulated and appear noticeably frustrated. He understands that this cap is going up. And so at the end of the day, then great. That's good for Dak Prescott and his agent. If you choose to resign him, then great. You go take this big old high number we go give you and you go pay me, since you already understand and you got more insight than anybody that the cap is going up. This is something, and this exposes the Dallas Cowboys' flawed philosophy in player management. It is a flawed philosophy in player management. They want to get a 2-for-1, and they contradict their own theory. Because if you want to get a 2-for-1 special, as you allude to later, I'll pay this guy, and then all of a sudden, I lose over here. But then all of a sudden, maybe I don't pay this guy, and I get 3 quality starters and all that nonsense. If your whole premise is value, then you buy cheaper. You don't buy when the stock is at an all-time high, to Law's point. You don't buy when the stock is sky high. If you smart and you are committed to the theory that you say you're committed to, then you would actually have got this contract done a year and a half ago. You'd have got this thing done because it would have been cheapest for you at that point. But the fact is you're a liar. And the fact is you're disingenuous and you want to prove that you the man, you in charge, you got the gusto and the machazo, and you want to say, you're not going to beat me, I'm the man. And guess what? You already lost. You already lost. So you know what Dak Prescott should do? Dak Prescott should say, I'm not coming to no more OTAs. I'm not coming to no more practices. I'm not reporting to training camp. And they say, why, Dak? Why? And he should say, because I'm not ready to go yet.
The OC.
There's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
I'm going to push back on you right quick, OC.
Come on.
Here's the reason why Dak Prescott will not do that. In 2016, was Dak Prescott really the better quarterback than Tony Romo?
Yes. And no.
Yeah, it's tricky.
It's a little bit of both.
He wasn't really.
Better at managing games, not quite better at throwing the ball.
But not quite better. And I know people going to shank me with the butter knife with this, but he knows the temperament with the Cowboys Joneses, right? They will walk, they will hold their head high. They got a lot of pride, and they will sell. They will sell the fact that Trey Lance is ready. They will sell the fact that even Cooper Rush is ready.
Ugh.
And they will stubbornly walk right into the fire with it and say, okay, Dak, you hold out. That's okay. It will be another shirt that's out there at Stadium of Arlington in Frisco. Dak who? Because Trey Lance will be the quarterback that they will lift up, just like they did with Zeke. He was in Cabo, and it was similar to that. It was like, hey, Zeke who, right? And Rocky Arsenal had to say that you disrespected my client. He had to speak up because it was a level of disrespect to Ezekiel Elliott to say those type of terms, because Tony Pollard with that 3 and a 6 was looking really good in preseason. And then eventually, through the cave of the fans, they folded and they went on ahead to say, okay, we'll bring back Ezekiel Elliott. It will be the same thing at that point. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead,
You
OC.
bring up a really good point. You bring up a really good point, Law. That could happen, but this is why it won't. Because Trey Lance is no Dak Prescott. And as much as they try much as they try to water down Dak Prescott and take subtle shots, even several within this interview that I'll talk about if I have time. They took several shots at Dak, subtle shots, little shade shots. The quarterback position and the complication of it is a different ball game than handing off the ball and running the football. It's different.
True.
So, listen, I'm not saying that Trey Lance is not a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm telling you he's no Dak Prescott. This is how I know, because if he was, he wouldn't be here. Yeah. If he was, he would.
But he is
here.
marketable, right? He's marketable for the Oxnard. Yeah. He's marketable for those preseason games, and that's a long time from here. And those are days of whereas the media and all of this attention would just be like, oh, okay. They would flip it and they would say, well, Dak is selfish. Dak is not a real leader. You know, they would try to flip it and they would put their minions out there and they say, well, Trey, he it's already divided. It's just like the great divide ice cream already, right? Right. It's just what it is. Y'all know I'm team Dak. I like Dak Prescott, but at the end of the day, the reality of it is nobody can sell better than the Jones family, and they will sell Dak Prescott being out, and they will sell the aspect of Trey Lance standing tall.
You know what? They would do that, Law, 110%. But at the same time, in the self-interest of Dak Prescott, because the Cowboys have clearly shown throughout negotiations and holdouts and franchise tags and all this stuff that they don't have his self-interest. So in the interest of his self-interest, sometimes you got to play chicken with somebody that's willing to play chicken with you. Then they go do all that they can, but guess what? When you get to that regular season and you lose a couple games and Trey Lance throw a couple picks, and he will. And he will. You can market him to the moon. Yep. He get underneath that fire. He make a mistake. Where's Dak Prescott? Oh, my God. Where's that? Then now that heat's going to get on. And then guess what? Now they fold. So it's now, to your point, I don't think that Dak is actually going to sit out or hold out, to your point. But I wish that he would. I wish that he would in the interest of his own self-interest. At least do some of it. Yeah, at least something. Show some signs of real strength and anchor. Because at the end of the day, after this season, whether it's the Cowboys or not, Law, me and you both can agree on this. He's going to get his paper. He's done plenty in his league. He's going to get his paper.
All right, let me ask you this before we move on from this topic.
Come on.
At what time did Dak Prescott ever perform greater than Emmitt Smith? Up until 1993, he was in a contract situation with those same billionaires, and they held their nose high, head high, and they went through all of that bull sugar. And Emmitt ended up not playing week 1. They lost. Week 2, they lost. And then they said, well, damn, let's just go ahead and bring Emmitt on. You see, they are stubborn, prideful owners. And they did 100%. That to Emmitt in 1993. After winning, what was it? Was it 2 Super Bowls? Was it 2 Super Bowls at that time, boss?
You put me on the spot. No.
Yeah.
No, it was one. It was one.
It was after the first Super Bowl.
It was after the first Super Bowl.
The season split.
Because then they got the second one that year.
Yeah. So after, they were so stubborn after a Super Bowl.
You right, Law.
After a Super Bowl.
Yo, this is a good
after
fight.
a Super Bowl, bro.
Man, y'all.
Well.
And Dak, I like Dak, but he ain't at the kind of caliber or level of what Emmitt was for not just the Cowboys, but for the league at that time. Whew.
Well, Dak has played at an MVP level this past year. Okay,
true.
And so Dak is pretty much what a lot of people would argue is the MVP, right? Now, when he got injured a year back, I mean, his season was shortened a year or so ago. But before that, don't forget, Dak Prescott threw for still 34, 35 touchdowns a couple years back. So Dak Prescott has been playing at the MVP level, and they never did that to Troy Aikman. And therein is the difference between the quarterback, the true lead of the team, and a running back. Now, the Cowboys very well might do exactly what you said, but they would, to your point, they're going to suffer some L's. They would suffer some L's, and they've never done that to a starting quarterback. They've never done that. They've never been in this situation and held out into the regular season with a starting quarterback. Not even Tony Romo, who I might argue at this point in Dak's career, Dak is playing better than Tony Romo played when Tony Romo was at his best.
Let me pause y'all fight. Let me pause y'all fight. I'm gonna meet
y'all
in the middle.
This is good.
This is a good fight too, because I'm gonna meet both of y'all in the middle. Because Fowler Sr., Dante Fowler Jr.'s dad, he said, if Dak was my son, and I heard this crap, they said in this interview, he wouldn't attend anything.
It will be a long holdout.
I'm going to meet y'all in the middle. I do think he need to make a stance. He just need to be there for training camp. I think he need to miss, but he need to be on that plane. But everything before that plane, is that fair? Is that meeting them in the middle?
That's showing that you're serious, but it's not quite enough because I told you they're misers. They're old misers. This whole interview proved it. I've been saying it for months. They're old misers. Hey, Rudolph, let's see if we can break them. Rudolph,
let me get back to the interview.
Let me get back.
Hold on, let me get back to the interview because we still got a couple of more clips.
Oh yeah. This is good. It's good.
We felt like we could get a number that was a good number. Because unfortunately, these, as we all know, representatives talk to each other. You don't think the representatives of Jefferson and CeeDee and Chase aren't talking? And you don't think they got their eye on something really big? Please. I mean, they're not ready to come in here. Same thing with Micah and same thing with Dak. I mean,
so it's the age's fault.
Yeah, what a gaslighter! What a gaslighter this dude is, man! What a gaslighter!
Hold on, see, we ain't gonna never get through it, bro. Let me keep going because I know
I'm trying to save his dad. He tried to save his dad, but keep going.
It's the age's fault.
It's just it's
crazy.
It's a little cat and mouse. Total respect for him.
Why not get ahead of that then? If you know what some of those.
Oh, y'all thought Jay was finished.
You thought I was feeling you, you know?
Why not get ahead of that?
That's Steven. That's Steven Smith. That's Steven. Not Steven Smith, but Steven Jones is a munch. Yeah. She eat him.
Oh, Jay was like,
he's a munch.
You thought I was gonna just sit back and be like, yes, sir. You must don't know I'm a real journalist. I'm not like these dudes in here that don't have no balls. I got me more than you.
Big numbers might be.
Well, you don't know what those big numbers might be. And as I said, if you really...
We actually do know what those numbers.
We do know. There he is gaslighting Jane, trying to act like she's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what the numbers are.
Yeah, you do.
Man, shut up.
You do know. Because it's the same every time. The next receiver is always just a little bit higher than the previous. The next quarterback is always just a little bit higher than the previous. So you do know. And see, this is how you really know they know. Let me go back to this and I'm gonna go back to that interview. This is how you really know they know. Because he admitted it before. He admitted it before.
Ooh,
he admitted it before. And I asked this question before. Is Dak better now than he was then when he signed his first contract?
Better now, man.
Yes. So if he better now than he was then, but you admitted it was a mistake to wait, what you waiting on?
Cook, man. Cook, boss. Hibachi ain't got nothing on you, man. Keep cooking, man.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like you taking us for granted like we not paying attention. No, we are paying attention.
Really, your gut feel was, if Jerry's gut feel was that was a good number, then you would do it.
You're say get ahead of it as though you knew the answer.
Yes.
And one reason you're not doing it is you may not have the answer. You may really need to see if there's more cap room. You might need to see if you're going to get somebody else signed. Or you really right then might not even have the money under the cap, of course. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's timing. Timing is obviously as important as the principal amount. And sometimes timing keeps you from making a mistake.
Get him, OC. I know
Who
you
making a mistake on? Because the topic was your big three. Who you sending a slug at? Let me hit my button because that's a clear slug.
Dak Prescott.
It could be Micah.
It's not.
It could be Micah. You know what I'm saying?
No, because you ain't paid Micah yet.
But he ain't paid CeeDee Lamb.
Exactly. So the only person that he's paid out of the three we're talking about is Dak Prescott. So the clear illusion to me is him dealing with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is the only one who's got more than a rookie deal. Those are the first round draft picks. You paid him what you paid him. I mean, it is. You ain't made no mistake with CeeDee Lamb. You ain't made no mistake with Micah Parsons, who averages 13 sacks a season in his first 3 years. You ain't made no mistake on that. I don't care if you don't like his personality. You ain't made no personnel mistake on that. You ain't made no personnel mistake with CeeDee Lamb. You had a fourth round draft pick that you got for crumbs that played like an MVP. You gave him $160 million. That's who you're talking about.
You know what? When you really look at everything, Lamb and Parsons, they are still babies at this. They haven't been touched, as far as their contracts and things like that, right? So they still have that newness that they could have signed probably a deal like a Trayvon Diggs. And when you sign early like that, there's no trade clauses, right? You can still have escape hatches in those contracts. Dak contract is the only contract without the trade clause. You know what I'm saying? He got the anti-franchise tag stuff going. So Lamb as well as Parsons both got the Virgin contract. So you can really manipulate that just the way you want it to be and still take hold to that and get all of the money that you needed for the free agencies and beyond. But if you wait longer for CeeDee Lamb, then ultimately you're going to pay more. You're going to pay north of whatever Jay Jetta got or going to get. Chase is right around the corner. And then even with Parsons, yes, we seen the kid Josh Allen, the brother, the one in Jacksonville, just got his money. His contract got to be north of that contract, right? So if you were to early jump in on that, then your contract could have been cheaper. But by you waiting, Josh Allen got paid. You got to get north of what he got now, right? And now whoever else that's going to get paid again, I think TJ Watt is due for another contract, I believe, somewhere around the corner. You're going to have to pay more. So it's crazy. But I get what he's saying far as don't want to pay Michael Parsons Bosa money, but at the end of the day, he's going to be in between Nick Bosa and Josh Allen, the brother.
That's what it is.
And that's not just football. That's not just a salary cap. That's any decisions that you've got to have some ambiguity up to a bright line. The bright line's when it's done or gets done. And of course, in all due respect, the players, coaches, commissioners, everybody's listening to their music too when you start talking about this thing called pay. Okay? Sponsors, we all look at those things. So it's not boy, they should have done that last week because the price of tea in China went up. It's not the way you do it, frankly. Certainly not the way we do it, and I've seen criticism about that we wait too long to sign players or those kinds of things. They certainly can look back and say, if it had done it 5 years ago, then price of living was much down then. Okay, well, that might be the case, but we might have been waiting to see how a couple of players played and whether or not we want to keep them or not.
Oh, my God.
Hey, he's speaking about us, bro. He's speaking about us.
So you're waiting to see. Yeah, other people have said that we wait too long. Yeah, you watch us, and your kids watch us, your grandsons watch us, and I hope you watch this, sir, because you are full of nonsense with that statement. You know very well in your position that the salary cap is doing nothing but going up. You know very well that every day you wait, the dollar goes up. If you don't know that, then if you say you don't know it, it's a lie. Let's just leave it there. Also, to assume you're the smartest man in the room and that we don't understand how to calculate a salary cap and don't understand team budgets by looking at your cap versus other teams' cap is a complete, utter misrepresentation of the facts here. You have enough room to sign whoever you need to sign. You have enough room to restructure and to sign Dak Prescott. You have enough room, if you wanted to sign Micah Parsons or CeeDee Lamb today, you could actually get the deal done. The issue is, and this is the truth, that you stated if it was the number you wanted. And to your son's point about the agents, oh yeah, they won't let us do whatever we want to do. They won't let us take advantage of their players. Yeah, I mean, they're all in the way. Yeah, they're going to stay in your way, man, because that's their job. Their job is to be the fiduciary of their person that they are representing, their player, okay? And so you're not going to get a slick one over on a premier player. That's just not how it's going to work. And if you wait, you can wait, but your philosophy is wrong. And all this step up, red shirt player deal, you're going to have to be proven right this year. And if you're right, I'll shut up forever. But if you're wrong, you're never going to hit the end of it because this is playing Russian roulette with your roster. You're playing Russian roulette, and the fans are going to suffer, and you are going to get more criticism than you've been getting from us if this nonsense don't work.
Law, you said that was talking about us.
Yeah, because it was us, the new media. It was us, the content creators, who always been for the last 2 or 3 years. It haven't been the media. It's been us that been battling and yelling, hey, they wait too late to pay their guys. That came from us. It haven't came from the 3-ladder and the 4-ladder network, but they for damn sure don't talk about contracts. And the beat reporters, they don't write about that, you know. And shout out to the selective few.
The only one was Mike Florio. That's the only one. Florio was the only one, but other than that, it's been loud.
And Mike Florio got it from us too. Then, if that's the case, so it's been us. I'm just being real. I don't want to pat on the back, but it goes to that point. I heard your show the other day, boss, and you brought up a great point about the sponsors, right? If you're not loved in your own home, how somebody on the outside is going to love you, right? Yeah. People can see, like, hey, Cowboys kind of skittish a little bit with Lamb. I don't know if I'm going to give him a Snicker, commercial. Hey, I'm seeing that they're a little skittish about Micah Parsons. Right. We're going to pull back a little bit. And Dak, we gave you some, yogurt, but we gave you some water, commercials, some sleep numbers. But, man, you ain't really like that. Man, Baker Mayfield was getting more commercials, right? So they just pulled back just a little bit because they don't feel like, hey, everybody is all in with your particular quarterback. And people used to say, hey, you want to take the discount to work here, but not to get beat up and drugged and sullied and denigrated like these players are, But y'all can still run those sponsors my way, though,
Let me expound on it. I was saying that.
Go ahead. Yeah.
They try to sell you that you should give us a discount because you're a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah.
But when they talk like this, they putting salt in that water. They make it no good because then the fans that you're supposed to be able to capitalize on from the love that they have for you, they don't like you because Jerry and them pausing them against you.
Yeah.
So now when yogurt and sleep gonna be like, we like you, but we looking at the data and it look like half your fans think you greedy, Dak.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with Mahomes. We're gonna go with Baker, Mayfield. He got better cheekbones.
Yeah. Golf and all of those boys.
Yeah. So anyway, man, real quick. Let's go back to it.
Again, no decision is singularly based on that decision, just that scope, that person, that pay. Because of the nature of the cap, it affects everybody down the line. So that has a big bearing on it too.
Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com. A couple of questions first. A handful of picks that you guys are missing.
All right, so let me go to the next one. That's the big question. This is what the OC brought up. Y'all listen to this.
Yeah.
And this
Patrick No Steve Walker.
I got that one too. I can do that one next if you want to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because that was a good one, because that's Trey versus Dak. We will definitely get into that one. And that was a very good question. Patrick had some balls too on that. He asked it very professionally, where he was above reproach. But so, I would say Jane had big balls and Patrick No C. Most of the other questions, I was like, man. Anyway, listen to this one. This was a great question. Listen to this.
Men that are already here working, and that's just the facts, and that's the way it's always been. So I hope to God there's a Micah Parsons or some impact player that comes in as a rookie and helps us. That would be a bonus. But at the end of the day, we're adding quality players that have value, and they will contribute. And that's just always been my approach.
Saad Yusuf, The Athletic. Jerry, you just mentioned that, you guys are always working on those deals and things like that. The other day, Dak said that real talks haven't even began. So how do you kind of, interpret those comments, and what do you think his perspective is on that?
Well,
great question by Saad from The Athletic. Great question.
Saad, okay.
That's Saad. So the three people that I felt like asked the best questions of the day was James Slater, Saad, and Patrick No C.
I first of all respect how Dak handles his business, period, as much as any player I've ever been, any person that I've been associated with. So that's it. I think that we should realize that talk.
So I got him in the corner. So I got that brother. Riggs! Where your button? Riggs! Side! Riggs!
Jerry said, about 20 times. Let me rewind that, dog. I gotta rewind that, dog, just a little bit, bro. God, dog. Side had that dude, boy. Listen.
And they will contribute, and that's just always been my approach.
Saad Yusuf, The Athletic. Jerry, you just mentioned that you guys are always working on those deals and things like that. The other day, Dak said that real talks haven't even began. So how do you kind of interpret those comments, and what do you think his perspective is on that?
Well, I first of all respect how Dak handles his business, period, as much as any player I've ever been, any person that I've been associated with. So that's it. I think that we should realize that
he got to wave the flag over here. He waved the flag. This is the mind of Jerry Jones. No disrespect to all of my soldiers, but Jerry over here.
Hey,
Jerry tapped out.
Say he hit it with that.
Well,
we heard everything you said about James Slater, but Dak actually said that y'all did no real talks. Man, I ain't never seen Jerry get caught up like that, bro.
At first, I had Pat. I didn't hear this part in depth like you just played it, and looking at his face, the countenance on his face. So I had my order was literally Boss, Jane, Pat, No C Walker, and then whoever else.
Say.
Hey, it's Jane and Side now, man.
Yeah, Side, boy.
Yeah, Side second place now, man.
Side dunked him smooth, didn't it? Hey, man, Dak said that y'all had no real talks. Boy, can I do it one more time? Just one more time, bro. I know y'all heard this. I got to watch it one more time. One more, bro. This is crazy. Oh, this is beyond so crazy.
I think that.
Hold on, man. Oh man, that boy had Jerry stuttering, bro. I always knew Jerry could think on his feet. Jerry was they caught him on that question, bro. He caught him with a good one. Hold on, let me go back. Oh man, this was classic. Oh, let me go back, y'all. Here we go.
That I've been associated.
Hold on, let me go back some more. All right, that should be enough.
Comments and what do you think his perspective is on that?
Well, I first of all respect how Dak handles his business, period, as much as any player I've ever been, any person that I've been associated with. So that's it. I think that we should realize that talks, quote, talks, don't necessarily is not a barometer of whether you're close to a deal at all. As a matter of fact, it might be one of the least barometers, because most agents get mad as hell if I talk to the player.
Man, it's so much in what he just said. Because it shows that they giving away what they trying to do. They trying to always find a way to get around them agents. Yeah. See, remember Steven came out about 2 weeks ago, was like, we talked to Dak directly. And all of us was like, that's a bad sign for Dak. You know what I mean? Yeah. You never negotiate when you got your representatives. You know what I mean? That's why I thought Dak was finna cave. But then he basically admit, agents get mad at hell, but yet y'all publicly admitted that you're doing it and try to do it anyway.
Yeah. And then, there's also a lot of people saying word salad. That's a good phrase right there,
that's
Robert.
A great phrase.
Is word salad. When you look at everything, they probably supposed to speak with the agent first. You know how you ever seen those officers when they got the interrogation room, or they trying to squeeze something from someone?
Good point.
And the person already said lawyer, and they keep going. They try to turn the camera off and everything. Yeah. And I believe that's where Dak Prescott is at. Like, hey, talk to Todd, man. Talk to Todd. Don't talk to Tad. Talk to Todd,
Right. Yeah.
And Jerry's like, hey, come on over to the house, because that's what they want to do. Right. Get them over to the house, get them on a yacht, get them secluded somewhere, and go knee to knee, elbow to elbow there, eye to eye, so that they can corner him into a deal.
Right.
It goes all the way back to even what Dez said when he was trying to negotiate with Dez and say, hey, come on, Dez.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Dez. And then they sully Dez ever since then. Yeah. If you really think about it.
Yeah.
Dez was like, if you go back to what I'm talking about with the OC, my guy Emmitt Smith was coming off of 1,713 yards. I'll pull up the stats now, boss.
Yeah.
18 touchdowns that season. Win a Super Bowl ring.
Right.
And if you quantify what Dez was coming off on 2014, he was coming off of a 1,600 some yard, 16 touchdowns, right? With a playoff win. He's supposed to get his bag. But they fiddle-faddle around with him all that offseason, and he ended up not getting paid until the end of it in 2015, right? And he ended up hurting his foot or what have you. But to make a long story short, this is what they do.
Right.
They try to get in front of you without your agent, and it end up blowing back on their faces. So at the end of the day, man, Jerry, hey, time's been caught up with him. All of those old school tactics, it don't work no more, man.
Yeah, and it's, and these media people doing a good job. Now, before we show Patrick No C Walker, because that gets into obviously Trey Lance and Dak Prescott, he asked a fire question on that, and I love how he set it up. He set it up first class. We got a pretty packed house now. Can you go ahead and tell the people about what's getting ready to happen on Thursday?
Yes, indeed. On Thursday, in Shakerton is located in Arlington, 1409 North Collins Street. It's right down the street from the stadium. You can see the stadium in the background. It is a unbelievable restaurant, whereas we going to have live music. We're going to have our broadcasting live there for the draft. It's going to be a mix and mingle mixer between 4 and 6. And then the draft party kicks off at 6:30. We're going to carry you guys. We give you expert analysis of the draft. They got a scratch kitchen, so all of the food is cooked in the back. You know, nothing open up out of packages and stuff like that. The bar services is on point. Come on out to Shakerton's. We're going to have live music. My girl Victoria going to sing. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have me, Boss Cowboy Sports, Ray Podcast, man. Dak Attack, man. We're going to have Candy in the building. We're going to have Jazz from BLS. We're going to have a lot of people in the building and being able to give you the unbelievable draft analysis. And also, we're going to have Terrence Parsons in the building as well. So let's go.
Let's go, man.
Surprise guest too, man.
Let's go, man. No, I'm excited, man. Law, my boy made some room for me and the OC because I wasn't even on the flyer.
Yeah.
But hey, when you got the relationships, they fit you in. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, we got that good relationship with Ray. I did some work with Ray before, man. Excellent job. He doing a great job, man. And I really appreciate that, man. Y'all letting me ride on the passenger this time.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoy it. I'm glad I'm gonna be able to kick my feet up.
Oh yeah.
Kick my feet up. All right, here we go. So let's get to the notes, cause we breaking this down for y'all, man. I know y'all asked for this. I've been seeing this on Twitter. Y'all been asking for us to respond, so we giving y'all that quality response. So let's go to Patrick No C Walker. He's somebody else, in my opinion, that was very professional, but he got to the point, and it was just a fire question. Here we go.
So I just think we just need to just stay true to our board, and whoever we add in any of those position rooms, especially offensive line room, will make us better.
And for Jerry and Stephen, both of you guys have spoken obviously favorably about Dak Prescott. Stephen, a few weeks ago, you said that you still see that there is improvement, that a ceiling that Dak hasn't hit yet, which is promising because it shows he has more room to grow. Jerry,
that was a very, very good intro. Because that question almost backs him into a wall a little bit.
Right.
When you say, basically you saying that he can get better, which makes sense because this was Dak's first year in the offense.
Yeah.
So it's a good bet that Dak should even take another step up from last year, you know?
Yeah. And here's how it goes, man. Running backs age like cars. Quarterback age like houses, right? As far as their depreciations or appreciations. And I get it. Some people will say, hey man, dude been in the league for 8 years, been going on 9 years. He's still learning. Hell yeah. Yeah, you still learn, bro. You still learning. And the football game is going to slow down so much, man, every year. I never forget Tony Romo's documentary.
Yeah,
and he was talking about in his 13th season. Yeah, well, year 7, but he said when he got to his year 13, everything was like
slow motion. Yeah,
slow motion for him.
Yeah,
and he was able to galvanize and carve up things, man. So I'm just saying, I'm not advocating that Dak Prescott is the best thing since sliced bread, but what I'm saying is collectively is that you are seeing a scale pattern doing this. You don't see the scale pattern doing that. No. And that's since 2016. Every year he performed and improved better and did better things. The only year that you can knock him, and it'd be kind of crass, is the year he got hurt in 2020, right?
Which you'll even be when he broke that year because he was on a 6,600 yard pace.
Right. But people still knock him because of the fact that I think he was like 2-3 that year or 1-3, something like that.
With the worst defense in franchise history. Literally.
Yeah. And then what, in 2022, we was the 28th ranked offense. And then when he got back, of course, we had the interceptions, but he was still able to will that team to a playoff as well as getting the offense back into top 10 categories.
Right.
Yeah.
Well said.
When you asked about potentially drafting a quarterback, you said, quote, they could be the best thing since ice cream. Can kind of bet on the Cowboys not taking them in the first round. How do you guys balance knowing the value and knowing that you want Dak Prescott here for the future, also knowing that you gave up a 4th round pick to get Trey Lance in to develop with potentially a scenario where a high priority quarterback is staring you in the face?
Well, whew, great question.
Yeah.
I'll start it. We want Dak Prescott. So that's that. And there's no question that Mike's focus, not that he didn't have focus, but how he improved last year, and I give Mike a lot of the credit for it, that improvement demonstrated to me there's more.
True. True. It makes sense.
As far as ultimately winning what we're trying to do here. So your question nails it for me. We want Dak, and we think that there's room for growth. He is absolutely unsurpassed as far as what he is as an individual, his work ethic, what he brings in the leadership, everything about what you would think about as quarterback. And so he's got that. He's had a few hits, but everybody else has too. And so then you get into the $64,000 question, and that is with all of the risks that's involved and what have you. If you look around the league, the teams that have really made that big time commitment, we have in light of where we have committed in the past. We have that to add to whatever we do with him. And so it's a double whammy. We've got a lot still from seasons past that we have to add to that. And so all of that presents a challenge. You wouldn't even have a response if we were in a different place relative to the cap. If you are a team that has a lot of cap room, and then you have a quarterback for a little while that is well underneath in his rookie contract, San Francisco last year, us with Dak early, after we had Romo, and boy, we had a lot of credit card use there on Romo. Well, Dak came along, so we didn't have to have it, and so we were able to absorb that money and still keep talent around him. So Dak has enjoyed in his career that we're proud of some of the best supporting cast that you could put around him. And to move forward, we're going to have to diminish that.
Yeah.
Moving forward, we're going to have to diminish that.
I got something. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen right quick. I like my guy Martin talk.
Yeah, while you pulling it up, he said that we will have to diminish that. He telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
He telling the truth. A lot of people getting upset about that, but the thing I don't like is the way that you recounted your history. You really didn't take care of Dak when he was on that rookie contract. You really didn't invest in the Dak like you could have when he was on that rookie contract. So here we go.
Yeah. And my guy Martin talk, he says overall dead money percentages of salary cap in 2022, 32, and then 2023, 20, and then 2024, 17 million. So he's saying Google is free, and he just basically breaking that down. And we can see, man, that the way Jerry Jones been pretty much trying to talk around in circles is not factual, right?
Right.
And even with the Tony Romo thing, if I pull a spot rack, you can also see that, we were set back for 17 a little bit, but 18, 19, and then you was blessed with $90 million heading into 2020.
Right.
And you wasted it. So
let's talk about that waste real quick.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too fast on that. That waste was when they tagged Dak for $31.5 million. That was a total waste by them doing exactly what they doing now, being uncertain about a franchise quarterback. And so you spent $31.5 million for 4.5 games, wasted. You just blew that out the window. How much would 31.5 be with us today?
Oh my God. Yeah.
What if, and then you always raise the point on every tag that we've ever done have been bad. Literally everyone. It might be one that I would agree with. The first one on Tank, because he was coming off of back surgery.
Yeah.
I can understand that one.
The first one, to a degree.
To a degree. But then they tried to tag him twice.
Twine. Yeah.
And
beat him up. And beat him up as they were doing. You ain't know what's the dude name? Khalil Mack.
Miller.
Yeah.
He said both of them.
Yeah. So
they created the monster that they almost blaming Dak for. It was your management. It was you who tagged Schultz for $10 million.
Yeah.
And people got to understand, a tag comes out of the cap dollar for dollar. Can you go into that a little bit before we go to the next one?
Yeah. You can't prorate it, can't stretch it out. And then when you start talking about tags, we tagged somebody for 6 consecutive years in a row. I also look at even the 5th-year option to a degree as a baby tag, because that money is not being prorated. It's a $17.5 million or whatever it may be for CeeDee Lamb all up front. So you want to prorate money, you want to stretch it out. And we got to get out of the business of saying you ain't X, Y, and Z, right? It's kind of like having a lady and then, you expecting things from her. And then all of you saying is, you ain't no Halle Berry. You ain't a sweetie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You not a scissor, whoever the pretty girls are now these days and times, right? And all of a sudden, you ain't no Beyonce. And you trying to get the qualities out of the person that you with. Let that person be who they are, So the Cowboys fall in that trap of beating up their own, right? Always talking about these type of things in the media. On top of that, were there any other teams today? There's 31 other teams today. Did they do a presser where the son and the dad went up there with the coach? Should there be 31 other teams today talking today?
No. Right.
Just the Cowboys. Now, granted, as a content creator, we like this though, but at the end of the day, hush sometimes, right?
I would rather than be quiet.
Yeah. We could be talking about draft.
I know me, you, and a lot of people good enough to where we still got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we taking this because they just talked about it, but we was gonna talk about the draft today. We was gonna talk about. That's what I thought we was gonna talk about. Is that we got draft week. We gonna be at Shakertons. We gonna be, we talking about this. You know what I mean? Man.
And the reason why it's $60 million, because I see somebody in the chat say $60 million, please. But the price would have been 45, 48.
Yeah.
If you went on ahead and paid them. If you did it last year. Hurts.
Right.
Before all of those other boys got involved.
And then $60 million is a fake number.
Yeah.
It's not even real. Go look at the contracts. I can pull it up right now. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I don't feel
don't worry about it.
I ain't gonna worry about it. Do your own homework on this. Go to above the cap.
Yep.
Google it. Right.
Mm-hmm. Google's free. Yep.
They go show all the contracts of all the recent paid quarterbacks. You go see a clear trend that you can't deny unless you're a liar. That every franchise quarterback is just a little bit above the previous.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them.
Yep.
So to think that go get $60 million would be like a $5 million jump past the previous, which does not match the pattern of the last 50 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
In other words, it's never made a jump that big. But people throw out $60 million because somebody just threw out that number. So now it's sticking in the atmosphere, but it's not a real gauge of what Dak likely getting ready to try to get. Now, it can get up to 60.
I got it right here when you get a chance.
Okay. It can get up to 60 if you let Love get in front of you. If you let Tua get in front of you, because that's the same thing happened with that 40. The first time they talked about the 40, it wasn't real. But you kept letting these quarterbacks get signed until he ended up being 40.
Yep. And what you want to do is take a look at the cap hit. In 2021, he was getting paid $17 million. Is that a bad number?
No.
$17 million for 2021. Look at what he was able to do in 2021 too, by the way.
Right.
And then in 2022, he got $19 million. Is that a bad hit?
No, that ain't killing the cap.
2023, hey, he had 26. These first 2 years, D-Law is getting paid more against the cap than Dak Prescott. Yeah. And then in 2024, this year, 55. And that's all because you're supposed to negotiate your contract here. If you negotiate your contract there, then you would have been able to have this all over again. You'd have this all over again.
Boy, you killing it, Law. Ooh,
that's just what it is.
Boy, Law, I see you. Man, can you do that one more time for the people in the back, man?
Yeah.
I need you to do the whole thing, bro.
All right. So that massive contract deal in 2021, the cap hit was $17.2 million, right?
Yes.
And then, everybody like, and at that time, boss, everybody was still saying, he ain't worth 40 million. They were crying, right? But
they were talking about the 40 million, but it was actually a $17 million hit. Right.
It was absolutely that. And then it was 19. And they restructured, of course.
Half
they
of
pushed
40,
it back.
so why you crying? Why are you crying?
Right. And then in 2023, $26 million. He was a $26 million.
Still, because everybody talk about the $40 million quarterback. Dallas has not yet ever had a cap hit even close to $40 million.
Come on with it.
Keep going though, man.
Yeah. And then this year, 55. The only reason why it ballooned this way is because you waited too late, and you didn't take care of business. You supposed to took care of business right here, right? And if you'd have did that, you'd have got something along these areas, you know. So it goes all the way back, boss, to when you look at his career earnings, you know, and you look at 2016.
Can I say something real quick? Just real quick.
Go ahead.
All is free. Law ain't pay for this. This is free 99. You can go to Spot Track yourself and double check Law and see double check him. Keep going, Law.
Discount double check, man. You had and I'm old enough to remember they complained about Dak in 16. He was getting paid $1 million. You know, $1 million. $1 million. They complained about that. $1 million. And that was because they added a bonus to it. And then the next year he got paid $940,000. Right?
Oh my God!
And in 2018. Rico Gathers was making more money than Dak Prescott, and people were talking about he should take a discount. Where? And then in 2019, that year he threw for 39 touchdowns, I believe 8 or 9 interceptions, and he only got paid $2.1 million. The only reason why this number looked like this for 2020 is because of the franchise tag. Remember, they franchise tagged him in 2020.
That's the 31. That's the mistake they made. That's the decision they decided to do. That had nothing to do with that. That was them procrastinating. That's why they tagged him, and they blew $31 million into the wind.
And here's another thing that they don't talk about, bro.
Bonus.
They also franchise tagged him again.
Right.
That's why their initial hit looks like 75. And what they did was they ripped the franchise tag, because they franchise tagged him twice. And then what they did is they ripped it up and they gave him a new contract, pushed most of this money off the $75 million into the cash spent, spent / bonus. And then now you see all of these prorations as far as 20 and 31. So that's where we talk about prorating and spreading money out. That's what you are eligible to do when you give a player a contract. But the craziest thing of it all is right here, bro. This is when they could have had him for that 25 APY for everybody was talking about. But what they did is they waited, and Carson Wentz got paid, remember? And Jared Goff got paid.
Then
and
Watson
people were
got
still
paid.
trying to compare him to that. Yeah.
They let all these quarterbacks jump him.
Yeah.
That he had better numbers. So, of course, he go want to be paid on par with his peers.
Yeah. So what you think his agent gonna say? Yeah, pay me less. And then I like the way when they go right here, when they do the market value, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's 50 right here. I know they probably negotiating north of that. It's based off of 4 years. Cowboys.
It's only a little bit higher than that.
They are basing his contract off of Herbert, Russell, Hurts, and Lamar. And all of those boys getting paid $250 million with a B.
And let me tag in with you real quick. Go back up for me real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The number that everybody should be looking at is that Justin Herbert and that Joe Burrow average per year. So for everybody that keeps saying Dak wants 60, no, he does not. He's going to want just a little bit more than Herbert and just a little bit more than Joe Burrow. So you're really looking at really like 54. You know,
54,
and that's why we were saying, y'all know what the number is. You know, when he say you don't know what the number is, no, all of us know what the numbers are because it's always the same. The next franchise quarterback is always just a little bit above the previous guy.
And then you look at it right here. They can't pull these numbers out of I got to say my one little curse word. They can't just be pulling these numbers out of their ass, right?
Yeah.
So they based it off of stats, accolades, as well as the age, if you can see right here. And that's how they come up and compute these numbers. And that's where his numbers are at. They don't do it off of playoff wins. If you do it off of playoff wins, then you will have to pay, what's the dude, Jimmy Garoppolo, more than Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Because he won more playoff games than Aaron Rodgers in the last 5 years. So you can't.
And Herbert would have set the market because he ain't won none.
Yeah. He ain't win none. So they went off of percentages, they went off of yards per game, and they went off of all of these things right here. Right. And you're seeing that he's right here in the wheelhouse of those boys. And how can you be an agent? And if you're looking at Dak Prescott, if he's getting completion percentage, 67 completion percentage.
But he's
and then you got a running back. Oops, not running back. You got Jalen Hurts who competing at 63. You got these two boys competing at 63.
With more.
Don't y'all know that's way below average as a completion percentage as a quarterback? And the boys getting paid $250 million. I digress, man.
So, I mean, good job, Law. Good job.
I appreciate you, man.
And see, this is what's insulting because we all know better. And especially if you follow new media. Maybe you're not getting this from other people, but you definitely getting this from new media. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you getting this from new media. This is another thing. And I'm going to be honest, some of the stuff they didn't lie about, like that all in, they ain't lie about that. Like when he said Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, we're all in with these young guys. I did a show about that about 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean? That the red shirts was always the 2 year. Listen, new media, we do real research. All of us do. Wrong, Tuck, Law, Big. No, we really dig. Like, we not playing when it comes to this stuff. We trying to give y'all the real answers. So when he say, I all in is to bet on these young guys, that's actually true. And that's also what he said the original time. See, I don't want y'all thinking that they always lying to y'all. Jerry wasn't lying about that part. He wasn't. He was telling the truth. He was like, yep, we going with these young guys. The problem is, Law, and we ain't going to have time to get in this. We going to run out of show time. I'm scared about them shoes.
Is it the shoes?
That's the thing I'm scared about, them shoes, man. It's them shoes, defensive tackle. You know, I'm going to get into that later because we're going to run out of time. I ain't gonna
them swear toes look good right there without the laces, though. But keep going.
We're going to get it. As a matter of fact, I want to talk about it from a different angle. I want to get your thoughts. But before we get into my thoughts, I want to say something real quick that's important to me that I just noticed on Twitter. Tad said something that I really want to kind of pause football talks for a second and just think about what's bigger right now sometime. Tad said it's been 4 years since he Dak lost his brother, and Tad lost his brother. You know, his brother was always smiling. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. So I just want to just pause real quick and say, check on your people, man.
Yeah.
Never get so busy with our ambitions that sometimes we don't pause and check on the most important people. Is that big?
Right. Somebody.
Somebody walked in the back. Oh, that's the OC. He came back.
Okay. Hey, it's ventriloquist, man. You start talking about it. Yeah, man. You always got to pause and reflect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's a hard, like, it's still fresh on me, you know.
Yeah.
It just like when Easter was around, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I picked up the phone. I was like, "Hey, Mom, I got the kids," and then it hit me, you know.
Ooh.
So it comes in waves, and Mother's Day right around the corner, right?
Yeah.
So it hits different, you know. I had other people sharing me with their stories on them losing their loved ones, and the way they continue to push themselves is because they see me continue to push. So even when I want to be like Jerry, I want to wave the flag some days, man. I just find myself in the space where I get here and I talk and I just ramble, you know, for about 2-3 hours, adding into the Cowboys, and just so I can get to my speech at the end, right? So I can motivate that one person who said that they needed that. So I needed that from Tad, you know, for that post. I appreciate you, bro. Because, man, we all going through something. We all going through situations, and sometimes people forget those small moments that could affect someone deeply.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do their best ways, whether it's playing golf, right? Whether it's playing around in the crib with their newborns and stuff like that. And they're just trying to be a family, just like anyone else. Not to put a story out there to say, hey, man, y'all need to appreciate Dak Prescott. But collectively, all of us are human beings, and we want what's best for our family.
Yeah. And I made the mistake before of being so busy that I wasn't managing my relationships.
Right.
It used to be me and, like, for instance, me and the OC, we used to have too big of gaps when we used to talk. It used to be like once every 6 months, or, you know. Now, it picked up like we never stopped talking, but I wasn't checking on him enough. He wasn't checking on me enough. It was because we was busy. We was grinding. So I want to really relay that. Never be too busy to check on your people. For real. Your real friends, people that you really know gonna be there thick and thin. Don't make that mistake. We got one life to live it. That's all they give us to do it. You can BS your way through it or stay true it. Bum B.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I want to go back to that DT talk. OC, did you have something on that?
Yeah, man. You know, I don't want to get too much into my own world and stuff, man. But yeah, I just recently, you know this, we suffered a loss in the family, someone this week.
Man.
And so, and I'll be out of town on Friday night, man, traveling to go be with the family for that, man. So, you know, it's prudent and wise for us to appreciate and love each other. Because truly, you know, the next day it's not promised. So I'll just park it right there.
All right. So I want y'all to hear me out on this. I want to get y'all perspective on this. I like some of the one techs in the 2024 draft. I do. I really do.
Okay.
Players like Jordan Jefferson and McKinley Jackson especially. I think they gonna be some value guys. I think one of them should be available, especially if we move down and get a 4th round. I think we should be able to get one. But I actually don't want us to, because I believe drafting a one tech would give false draft confidence that we solved the problem. Where we know and we strongly believe that 3-year developments don't help 2024. You know, and I frankly don't think the Dallas Cowboys have the right philosophy. I think they believe that these draft guys go come in and help right away when they don't match the history of their guys nor the league. So I would hope that we get wiped out so that we can go spend the money on some veteran DT shoes. What's your thoughts on that, Law?
I mean, man, you hit it right on the head, because this year should be the year for Big Bo Hanna to get into his full body, right? And he's gone, right?
Ridgeway.
This year should be for the Ridgeway, you know. So our investment's been unloaded. So, I mean, we got Mozzie. We know for sure Mozzie can't hold it down by himself. He's going through that shoulder thing and other things that he's going through. Carl Davis, he's a journeyman, and he played with too high of a pad level. Feet and get off is okay, but you know he's been a journeyman, strong hands and all of that, but he's too high. So the Cowboys need a draft. They need this, guys, right? But the problem is, it's like this. In theory, because JC, shout out to him, Cowboys Network, we did a show the other day. And they was talking about if you're going out there and getting somebody that you need to develop. In theory, it sounds good, bro. Like what you said. In theory, Jefferson do sound good. McKinley will sound great. But Zim is on a 1-year contract. Mike McCarthy is on a 1-year contract. Right. So they're going to have to move in a way where they got to get guys that can play now. Not guys that can play for the future. Right. And the best way is to hope and pray that a team release an interior big boy, right? Or you do the trade acquisition. And I think that a little part of me think that Mike McCarthy just need to be more assertive. He need to bang the table and say, this is who I need. This is who I'm going to go get. And he need to pull that trigger on a trade or pull that trigger on a free agent pickup post-draft.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to this, boss. I think that at the end of the day, unless you are a higher end defensive tackle, interior wise, okay, if you think about one technique, I do like some of these prospects, boss. I think a couple of them in 2-3 years, they'll be good, but they don't help you on a consistent, immediate today. And that's what you need. You need somebody that's already ready to play that can help you today. And even if we just go back, let's take a journey back through time. And we look at some of the great historic defensive linemen, defensive tackles, nose guards that played for the Dallas Cowboys. Theo Ratliff. Look, Theo Ratliff, bro. Russell Maryland, Leon Lett, right? Some of those names. Those guys were not day one wonders. They were not. Those guys developed and played 2, 3, 4, 5 years before they got to that elite Pro Bowl being consistently dominant level. And the Cowboys, outside of Osa, they really haven't drafted well interior linemen. We can take it back to Taco. We could take it back to the recently departed. So it's a deal to where the Cowboys, if they're going to shore up the position, they're going to have to do what I think that they don't really want to do, which is pay another outsider just a decent amount of money, not even a lot, just a decent amount of money to shore it up with a mature body. The last guy outside of like J.J. Watt, okay, that came into the league and I was really like that dude day one, right, was Ndamukong Suh. Like that was the last interior dude that came in outside of J.J. Watt. I can't think of any others, and hold me accountable on that if you guys can. It wasn't that many that came in and that just was ready. Those are exceptional dudes. Most dudes, they need time to cook, man. They need time to mature. Yeah. I mean, that's it.
Yep. And then you gotta understand too, like even Vita Vea, he's not a 3-down player, right?
Right.
No. And it took him a year or such, for him to get really rolling. Yeah, so it's gonna take some time, and we got mixed bags of philosophy with Mozzie. It's just gonna take some time, and I think that our other issue is we don't draft a compliment. I go back and I steal this phrase from you, Boss Cowboy Sports. We
stop, please. Come back.
Oh, I steal from you too.
We only draft to replace, bro. You know.
Yeah, we don't build.
like come on, make this make sense, man.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
I want to go through a couple of more thoughts real quick with you guys. I'm just putting my Twitter thoughts out there. This something.
And before you do that, boss, not to cut you off, can I say one thing?
Yeah, of course.
Just real quick, and I know I had to jump off for a second, and I missed some of the part of the interview. This is the thing, and Law brought this out, and I said it before I got off. I don't agree with the Cowboys' philosophy. I don't agree with their thought process.
With the red shirts?
I don't agree with it because you talk about a 2-for-1 or 3-for-1, and it's not how many, it's who. Right. Because you can get a whole bunch of guys, or you can get a couple guys, and those couple of guys are going to end up producing and being more for you than just a whole bunch of guys. I don't agree.
I'm gonna push back a little bit, just a little bit, just tiny.
Yeah, come on.
Because what they're referring to is Randy Gregory, and that ended up working out for him, right? And so what they doing is they keep referring back to that to justify their cheapness. Because they fumbled on Randy Gregory, but they got Fowler out of that, right? And they can say they got Stephon Gilmore out of that. They got Cook out of that in terms of the budgets to pay for some more guys, which they saying they wouldn't have been able to do, but they making the point that his one new deal would have cost what those 3 deals, which is true, right?
Yeah.
So from that, they did luck out. You know what I mean? So, and I do agree mostly with the red shirt strategy, except when it comes down to the shoes. That's the only time when it's not going to work at DT. Other places, it could work. Your red shirt strategy is doing its thing. Your red shirt strategy is why we 12-5. But when it comes to the shoes, is it the shoes? You have to spend money. And then you keep talking about we couldn't stop the run in the playoffs the last 3 years, but you going in there with a Mozzie who just had shoulder surgery. Do you think Mozzie is bench pressing right now?
No.
I don't care how much weight he gained. Is he gonna be stronger right now?
No.
Nah.
So if you're not willing to make a trade to go get some shoes, is it the shoes? And you go out there with these old ugly shoes, we go get what we deserve. If you go out there and say, Mozzie, get it done. Oh, this new draft pick, go get it done. No, bruh. No. Listen, I will meet you in the middle, Dallas Cowboys. Do it your way, but don't go cheap on the shoes. Is it the shoes?
Yeah. That other slide had a pamper on it. But I'm gonna tell you right here, man. I'm gonna tell you, bro, is that yeah, them slides with them pampers, man. There's a pamper right there. But I'm gonna tell y'all, man, and I know Papa Fowler is watching. I get it. We had Fowler, we had DA, right? And we had Sam Williams. Those are 3 guys that's all in the same room. Now, would you sacrifice 2 of those guys to have a sure solid guy? Not saying Fowler wasn't solid, but what I'm saying is basically, would you rather have a Danielle Hunter here, right? Matched up with a D-Law, or Danielle Hunter with Sam Williams, Danielle Hunter with a Micah Parsons, opposed to having multiples. And that's just all I'm looking at it from that. That's a good analogy, though, is it the shoes? And I think that's what my guy, the OC, is saying. Let's go ahead and go and get a known commodity that can help us when we get to those playoff games. Someone who's been around the corner, who plus got skins on the wall, opposed to having 2 or 3 mid picks. And I'm not talking about your guy Fowler and DA, but it's just what it is. I think that we kind of too scared to go out there and get and pull the trigger on those known commodities.
I'm gonna push back just a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't even think it's getting them. I think it's because when they get here, we don't treat them right. I think it's about treating them right.
Okay, true that.
You know, because I still notice when you listen to Stephen Jones today and they talk about the offensive line, he still don't mention Chuma. He talk about Matt Walesko and Ball.
Yeah.
And Ball.
Like, did they do anything last year? Like, and you still talking about them? Man. It's like you so in love with our guys. It's not even it's not even the free agents. It's when you get them, you treat them like bastards. Just treat them fair. Like, that's it. Like, if you would have treated Evans fair, we probably don't get killed versus Green Bay.
Yeah, we probably don't.
Well, boss, I'm gonna say this to you, man, in response to what you said, and I respect, of course, what you said, but luck is not a strategy. They lucked out with Randy Gregory and his upside.
Yeah, they got
that hasn't been a consistent theme of them willing and dealing. What they end up getting is some solid roster depth, some rotational players that can come in and help and contribute. They haven't got bona fide those dudes for the most part. They haven't. Now, AKA, they do draft fairly well and decently in some positions, and I'm gonna table that. I'm gonna say in some positions. I don't think they draft well in all positions. I think offensive line they draft well, right? I do. I think in certain positions, running back, or historically they draft well. In certain positions they draft well. And here's the other component that I wanted to mention that's so important is that Mike McCarthy is sitting in that interview, and I don't fault him for this, by the way, because he's on a one-year deal. Right. But he's there like a man trying to keep his job.
MK Ultra, man.
Yeah, he's there like a man that doesn't want to offend the Joneses by saying what I think is a bunch of wee-woo. I mean, we're not focused on one guy. We're focused on getting everybody better. I mean, bro, go back and look at that Green Bay team that had the injuries. You guys had depth. You guys had some dogs that were twos. You had some. That's why you won. It just wasn't because you developed these guys that were walk-on players and made them five-star athletes. It's not like that's what you did at Green Bay. No, you had some dudes that could play behind dudes. That's why. And what I'm saying is that right now at the Cowboys, we don't have the dudes, and we don't have the dudes behind the dudes. So it's like you got to start at square one, and you got to be realistic and don't make yourself the wisest person in the NFL, which is what Stephen Jones is trying to do, and I think in some parts Jerry Jones. You're not the wisest personnel people. You're not the best personnel people. Okay, Remember this real quick. Mike McCarthy let the cat out the bag. He wanted to draft an offensive lineman last year.
Yup, he wanted Matthew Bergeron. Now we know. Yup, he got overruled.
And guess what? He was vetoed.
Yup, he was vetoed.
Now,
that came out today. That's true.
Now, Mike McCarthy is the head coach. Last thing, and then kick his U-balls. He gotta have a little bit more veracity because you know who never got talked out of his picks and got all the players he wanted when he was here is Dan Quinn, and we know this.
Yeah,
that's not true.
But let me just say this though.
He got
let me just say this though.
Wagner. But he got most of what he wanted.
I'm talking about draft. He got most of what he wanted on draft, bro. He got some pieces in there.
I would agree.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I ain't talking about free agents. I'm talking about draft. Go ahead,
let me just say this and give some people some homework assignment, man, for when Mike McCarthy did win his Super Bowl. And just throw these names out and let me know if they ring a bell. B.J. Raji, Cullen Jenkins, both of those boys, they ain't slim. Hey, yeah. Clay Matthews, A.J. Hawk, Nick Barnett, my guy Tremont Williams, Charles Woodson, Nick Collins. Just look at those guys. They were fifth ranked in defense
was
that
the
year.
Defensive Player of the Year that year.
Oh wow! I didn't know he won defensive player of the year that year. I know he got hurt right in the right before the Super Bowl. Yeah.
In the Super Bowl game.
Oh, and he got hurt in the game. So those were stout guys, man. And when you talk about Cullen Jenkins, B.J. Raji, you know what I'm saying?
They had 6 number ones.
You know,
according to Jermichael.
They had
to your point. Yeah. They had
They had defense. They had defense too. So, and I'm trying to tell people, man, defense do win championships. And Mike McCarthy, I think that with his hands crossed, with his or arms folded, he's only been cheaply here or cheated here, basically, because his first 3 years he had to look over his back with Kellen Moore, right? And then last year was his first year calling the plays for himself. But then you had Dan Quinn with the mindset of saying, hey, this is my job. This should be me in that spot, right? And we can look at it like he got rid of all our linebackers and he got rid of all of our interior guys. It seemed like it was a job, man. You know what I'm saying? It was an inside job for him to do that to us, man. And then he goes right to the oppositions. He goes right to the Washington team. So it's just crazy, man.
And they disrespect Mike McCarthy talking about improvement. Well, that's why we feel like Dak can improve. We had improvement with you. What do you mean you had improvement with me? Man, I would have said something in an interview. What do you mean you had improvement with me? I've always been the guy calling these offenses, man. What are you talking about? You had improvement with me. We had improvement with Dak. And now all of a sudden, we feel like you have a higher ceiling. Like I'm your little pup. Like I'm your little grunt. That's how they treat people, man. And that's the part I just personally and I'm going to get off it. I just personally do not like, and it's wrong, man. It's completely wrong because these boys don't know what they're doing, man. These boys don't know what they're doing. But anyway, go ahead.
So I got about 4 more topics. I'm only taking 1 more.
Go ahead, man. I didn't mean to take your time, boss.
No, it's so good. No, you ain't tripping.
Let me take your time,
I ain't tripping. We ran out of time. Like these are some fire. Like it's way more in that interview too. I just ain't gonna have time to get to it. Maybe I'll do it in the future, but I'm gonna get to the heavy thing today. A couple of things. I'm a little bit nervous. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Because KD Drummond, he said something that kind of got me thinking. He said, everyone expects the Cowboys to do the expected thing on Thursday night and pick offensive line. Why? They've done nothing close to the common thing this offseason. I expect madness. Right? And so it makes me, like we all watched the movie Trading Places. Do you remember at the last part where the Dukes, they thought they had inside information on the orange juice, and they was trying to corner the market, right? Yeah, and they was obviously being aggressive on the stock purchases, and the people that was running the stock exchange said the Dukes know something.
They knew something, yeah.
Right? They was like, and they was watching to see how it was gonna play out. That's kind of what I think with KD Drummond. This is why. Because remember, he was the one that wrote the article from USA Today about the trade to the Raiders.
Oh, KD.
It was KD.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It just makes me sit back and wonder, because obviously he also talked about the parameters of the trade with major specifics. Aiden O'Connell, pick 13, pick 44, right? I'm a little bit paranoid, just being honest. Because it's like when somebody that knew about the specifics of the trade parameters of the Raiders come out and say, I expect madness. And then I add that with the knowledge that I heard, right, about Dak wanting to get up out of here. It just made me wonder. So this is what in my opinion, I think the picks that we need to get by, and then this is going to be behind us. I think we need to get past pick 13 and pick 24. If we get past pick 13 and pick 24, Dak is going to get signed. It's not going to go into 2025. I'm certain. And the reason why I know is because there is no way Steven and Jerry are going to risk only getting a 3rd round comp pick for Dak. You see what I'm saying? It's just no way that you that uncertain. Like, you can play dumb all you want, and I said it like this on my Twitter. You might hate a 2021 Honda Civic. You might think, man, I hate this car. But you are not going to sell that car for $1. You see what I'm saying? You just not.
Right.
Because it's valued too much. You can hate Dak all you want. All you people that hate Dak. Dak delusional and all of y'all. The people that can't stand him, that's praying for him to go to another team. Even y'all gotta admit, you do not get rid of a Dak for a 3rd rounder. What's your thoughts on that? I'm gonna start with you, OC.
Yeah, man. I think that, something that did stick out to me was this, that the Cowboys were, agreeing with everybody about, oh, yeah, this is my pick. We're going to get an offensive lineman. There's so many offensive linemen. And, they could go that route because it's a variety of them. But at the end, Mike McCarthy said, well, we really just want to get the best player available. So you never know the Cowboys' board. I think they do offensive tackle, in my opinion. I think that anything could happen, boss. It will be, mayhem if anything weird happened. But at the end of the day, man, I think they end up drafting offensive linemen and kind of staying pat. I don't know that anybody gives them what they want hand over fist for Dak Prescott. I don't see that happening, boss. I think they end up getting offensive linemen. That's my opinion.
I just hope that they, with the 24th pick, just pick BPA, best player available.
Yeah.
Offensive line, I just want Mike McCarthy to be more assertive. He seems timid when he's around the Joneses, to me. He seems as if though he goes with the flow guy, I need to know his zodiac sign, because he don't really bang the table and say, hey, this is the end of the road for me. I can't draft Tyler Guyton, who only got 15 games in his career in OU, and he's played at right tackle, right? And he plays a little too high, and I'm going to flip him to the left side and see whether or not he can fight and beat out Austin Richards, right? I don't have time for to develop Tyler Guyton. In theory, yes, his athleticism is there. Yes, he can get out in space. He'll be good for Mike Solari, but I can't play around with this. I got to figure out if I can win now. And he's going to have to make that movement. He's going to have to stand tall in that war room and go to war with those boys.
Yeah. Yeah, and hope he do, Law.
Yeah, that's all we can do, man.
I hope he does, man. So, give my final words, man. I'm going to kick it off. Today was more of the same. More Kardashian model. I think they was very defensive when they got real questions, Again, shout out to James Slater. I really appreciate her courage. Just being honest, knowing that Jerry is on the board of the NFL Network, because before he wasn't, she could sit there flat-footed with no worries, right? Jerry ain't my boss. He ain't my flagship, partner. I can speak my mind. I can speak my mind and be all the way with it, and you can't do nothing. That ain't the case anymore. But yes, she still had the integrity. She still had the boldness to ask what the fans wanted. They wanted to know, why didn't you go ahead and sign these guys to free up cash, then to make some kind of move in free agency? Golden question. Why do you wait? Why do you run up your own price? So what I would say about what Jane did is what I used to always say, and I need to say more. And what I think about most of them media people is they falling for what I used to always say. Some men are devoted, but they're not loyal. See, when you devoted, you do all that schmoozing and stuff and them old layup softball questions that make it easy for them to poison themselves. But when you loyal, you ask the real questions that do make them uncomfortable, that make them have to really ask the questions and answer why didn't you do what it takes to win by signing Dak, freeing up the cash, putting some stuff around him. Thank you, James Slater. Thank you for being one of the few real ones. I want to also say thank you to Patrick No-C Walker. I think his question was very relevant. And I think it was Saeed. I forgot the other guy's name, but he the one that had Jerry stuttering. So I sit back sometimes and I say, man, where are the real media people that's going to ask the real questions? And I'm going to say we saw them today. And I just pray that they keep their jobs. I sincerely mean tag Jane. Don't just say thank you up in here. Tag her. Let her know directly. We see you. We admire you. We appreciate you because you had balls bigger than most men. That's my final word.
Yeah, well, the Cowboys are in a conundrum of, it's a proven moment for the Cowboys. Will your draft picks be adequate to fill out the roster? Will the red shirts, the second and third year players that you have, be able to step up and fill the void of all the players that you let walk freely in free agency this offseason? Will you resign Dak Prescott or will you let him walk? The Cowboys have to prove their wisdom, and there's a passage that says, wisdom, is justified by her children. In other words, whether you were right or wrong is justified by your results. And right now, we don't have results. The Cowboys are going to have to prove, not now, not in August, but in September through the regular season, that they were correct in all the decisions that they've made now. That's my final word.
Fantastic words, man, from the OC and Boss Cowboy Sports, man. You guys been knocking it out of the park. Prayers and hopes and wishes out for Jane, Ashley, Slater. Man, she slayed today, bro. She did her job, and I want them to continue to build off of that. Apply the pressure. Dak Prescott got a philosophy of pressure is a privilege, but let's give the Jones family a lot of privileges then. Let's apply as much pressure as we can so that they can stop making these horrid business decisions as it relates to contracts. I don't mind it at all for them standing tall on their philosophy if it worked. But if it not working, then that's when we have to move in and tell everyone, hey, this is not working and it will not work.
Right.
Matter of fact, I didn't mind if they went in with the philosophy of saying that, hey, we're not going to pay Dak, right? But don't hold the fan base hostage with this, even on the front end. But the right thing to do is, let these guys are human beings, and it's time out to sully and denigrate them and talk bad about these boys. Speak life. There's life and death in the tongue. You can speak these things into existence. So the Cowboys, sometimes they speak their own demise. So all I'm saying is they didn't even have to do this presser today. The 31 other teams, they're not even thinking about this. They're focusing and locked in on their draft board. And one of the things that Jerry Jones and Stevie Jones were saying was the fact that even with sponsors, right?
Yeah.
Well, you could get more sponsors if you just hush. And who am I to tell the Joneses on how to make money? But what I'm saying is collectively that the Cowboys sometimes outspeak their wisdom teeth. Look, go into this draft. We got 7 picks as of today, right? Go in this draft. Go with best player available. Everything else will work its way out. And on top of that, in closing, check us out at Shaker 10's 1409 for your mind. North Collins Straight is down over there in Arlington. You can see the stadium in the background, and we will have live music, live DJ, a live singer performing, and I'll have my brother from another mother, no other, don't look like Danny Glover, right with me, Boss Cowboy Sports, giving some analysis with my dog Ray podcast, as well as the OC. He will slide right in, as well as he will be our offensive line expert and beyond, and we will not have a good time, ladies and gentlemen. No. We will not have a good time. We gonna have a great time. So don't meet us there, beat us there. 1409 North Collins Street. That's in Arlington, right there, right down the street or the street from the Texas Stadium. Come on down, baby. Let's get it one way or another. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go, baby. Draft party. Hey, y'all. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know.
Yeah. I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. Yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check a song. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up. Yeah. Count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives. Need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Revan now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up.